Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be back in the amazing Vuejs Amsterdam. I'm Alex Kyriakidis. MCs rarely dare to spell my last name. It's Greek. I'm originally from Greece, and I live here in Amsterdam. You can find me on social media under the username of Hootlex, and I'm the founder and CEO of VueSchool. At VueSchool, we make education accessible to everyone around the world in order to make developers' life easier. And my talk today is about our state today in 2024, but it's interesting to mention how it all started. It all started back in 2016 when I first stumbled upon Vue.js, and I was fascinated by the simplicity of the framework. And back in the day, frontend was hard. It was not as nice as it is today. So I saw Vue.js, I thought it was groundbreaking, that this is how we should be working on the frontend, and I wanted more developers to learn this awesome framework. So there were not a lot of resources back in the day, and I decided to quit my job and write the first book on Vue.js. It was quite successful. A couple of thousands of people read the book, and it helped them. They adopted Vue.js. It made their Vue knowledge a bit better. And I was getting requests to create more training material, some more advanced stuff, some more real-world single-page applications. And this is how I decided to start VueSchool. Today, 8 years later, at VueSchool, we operate 12 brands, and we grow strong in order to cover a lot of different needs of the modern web developer. And that is my talk today, the state of VueSchool 2024, and some announcements. At VueSchool, we make it our job to take care of the community. And as of today, we have focused on the Vue community specifically, because that was the core concept and the main need since the beginning. But I'm looking forward to be able to support more developers as we grow over time. We provide education through courses and tutorials. We try to connect the developers with the industry leaders through conferences and workshops. And as of recently, we also offer developer certification to boost developers' career growth. As of today, we have educated over 1.5 million Vue developers. And I don't say this to brag, but that's a lot of developers. That was like beyond my imagination when we started with the full thing. Over the years, we have tried to work with the greatest experts from the ecosystem in order to create the best and the most full content for Vue developers. We were the first learning platform when we started back in the day, and today we have a massive catalog of courses and lessons on all of the things on Vue.js, our golden framework, and the ecosystem with all of the tools, libraries, and software Vue developers need to be successful. At VueSchool, we cater with our content for all of the Vue developer skill levels, of course for beginners to get started with Vue.js and the ecosystem, for intermediates to learn best practices and learn more tools and expand their horizon, and for seniors who are typically busy and they need to keep up with the latest technologies and learn specific topics fast. So that has been our structure of the content. We create courses that specialize and focus on a single matter. We try to keep them in about 1 hour long so they can be completed in one session. And we see a lot of intermediate and advanced developers that they use the platform in a way where they go in VueSchool, they will search for what they need to do, like how to create a Vite plugin. They will find the lesson, they will watch it for a couple of minutes, grab the code, and then go back and fix it. To give you an idea of some of the structure of the single topic, last year we released about 200 lessons on courses like Laravel backends for Vue.js 3, Tailwind CSS fundamentals, content sites with Astro and Vue.js, and rapid testing with VTest, which is a course that is created by Anthony Fu, who is also the creator of the library VTest. And yeah, you can find all of these courses and all of the courses we have at VueSchool in a single place on the VueSchool.io/courses. Creating all of this educational content allowed us to create a very large online community. And as it was growing, we wanted to find a medium for us to connect with the community and also allow everybody to connect with the framework creators and all of the industry experts. So a few years ago, we came up with these ideas of the online conferences that we put together for everyone in the world who wants to participate and wants to connect with the industry experts. And it was quite successful. Vue.js Nation became the largest Vue.js conference, Next Nation the largest Next conference, and Vue.js Forge is different. It's a conference where participants and speakers build a Vue app all together. And we have featured a lot of framework releases, a lot of news, a lot of activities and Q&As with all of this and many other awesome speakers that you see on the screen for over 80,000 attendees over the last couple of years. Along with conferences, we also host workshops, which we think is one of the most efficient forms of training because they combine theory, hands-on coding exercises, and live Q&As with subject matter experts. We host workshops on our virtual classroom and also offline at conferences and company events. Over the last year, we welcomed over 700 participants in our workshops. Some popular workshop topics are our TypeScript with Vue.js, Vue 3 Composition API, and Next 2 to Next 3. The schedule for our 2024 workshops is released, so you can, if you're interested, you can sign up on the website, or you inquire for a private workshop for your team. Next, I would like to talk to you about mastering Next. But first, how many of you use Next.js? Raise your hand if you use Next. OK, that's pretty good, about half of the audience. Interesting. So Next, I think, is a really awesome meta framework, and it was amazing seeing yesterday all of the cool things that the Next team are currently working on. And some years ago, while Next was growing rapidly, we identified the need for designing a training platform dedicated to Next.js itself. So we came up with Mastering Next, the complete guide to developing and deploying fast production-ready Next 3 applications, which we put together in partnership with the Next team. The Mastering Next course is being constantly updated with the latest Next features, and part of the revenue goes directly to supporting the development of the Next framework. And the course will also get soon Next 4 updated. By soon, I mean when Next 4 is out and it is stable. Another hot subject is Pinia. As the Vue ecosystem transitioned to Vue 3, Vuex became obsolete, and a new official state management solution was introduced that is called Pinia. So how many of you use Pinia? Oh, wow, like more people use Pinia than Next. That's strange. So for all of you and for all of other people that want to become experts in state management with Vue, we put together Mastering Pinia with the creator of Pinia and Vue core team member Eduardo. He is the teacher of that course. And just to be clear, like this is for becoming like an expert in state management. It's an advanced course and goes like very deep in Vue and state management and stuff. If you're looking just to learn Pinia or like do basic things, the guides and a lot of other courses are more than enough. In all of these platforms, we feature blogs where we have produced more than 300 tutorials with guides, tips and tricks, news, and whatnot. I think it's difficult to be a Vue dev and not have utilized any of these tutorials. I have listed all of the platforms together since it's different per subject. And moving on, Vue certification is a project that I am the most excited about. It was a great challenge for us to solve when we were developing it, and certification is a sensitive topic. And we wanted to make this program that it is the most useful for the developers in order to support Vue developers in career growth, but also improving the skills and have fun while doing the certification. In order to do that, during the development of the program, we wanted to ask our community how we can make the program the most helpful for you. So we surveyed over 2,700 people that gave feedback for the development of the program. And the feedback we gathered, I have some highlights that go like this. The first thing that Vue developers wanted for the certification program was to make it hard. Developers didn't want another certificate that it is participate to achieve or like pay to win. They wanted the Vue certification to be a challenge that to be even for themselves, that if they manage to get the certificate, to improve their self-confidence that they can use Vue.js efficiently. The second highlight is that the participant asked us to ensure that developers don't cheat. And that was one of the first things that everybody would say when we told them about the Vue certificate. They would be like, how do you know they don't cheat? How do you know that they solve it themselves? So that was a good highlight for making a certificate trustworthy. Then, 95% of the participants believed that the Vue certification would increase their professional credibility. More than 70%, they had over 3 years of front-end professional experience, and 40% had more than 5 years of front-end experience. So we knew that we were building a program that caters mainly to intermediate and advanced front-end developers. And interestingly enough, 70% would require additional training. So even though people were using Vue.js for years, they were planning to spend some time to prepare and study before they take the exam, which was interesting and great at the same time because we knew that it would become at least a little bit better by going through the program. And lastly, 69% of the audience didn't have previous certifications. So that was quite the responsibility that this would be the first piece of paper that these guys would put on their CV. So we compiled this and a lot of other feedback, and we came to 2 core points: that people wanted the certification to be credible and support them in their growth. So we did a lot of research to find the perfect service to host our certification program, because initially started just for Vue. But we couldn't find any platform or service that we can make the certification for Vue.js as we imagined it. And as we are developer-minded, we decided, what the heck, let's build the full thing from scratch. And we are grateful for all of our users who supported us in this, with placing pre-orders, being beta testers, and early adopters. So we built a Next application with a Laravel backend that does full-on from examination to training. And the Vue.js certification platform has an examination system that features multiple choice questions, interactive code challenges where developers have to develop a feature and solve a bug, and the exam is also proctored and ID verified. Proctored means that technically you cannot cheat, that there's a recording of the room, like to see that you're not on the phone, or there's not multiple people in the room, or that the screen is monitored, and all of this annoying stuff. And the certification platform also features the preparation system, which consists of 3 different elements: the preparation guide, which is the curriculum of what you need to know in order to take the exam; the training platform, which is technically an interactive way to consume the Vue.js guide and have code challenges and multiple choice questions to practice before you do the real exam; and bootcamps, which is live training that I will tell you more about later. So we made it, and we had the platform, and of course, to achieve full-on credibility, all of the assessments have been developed by Vue experts, And Evan Yu himself has approved and reviewed every single one of the multiple choice questions and even the fake answers and all of the code challenges before they can go to production. So with all of this work, it took some longer than initially expected, of course, but we were very happy with the result and eventually became a big success. To date, we have hosted over 1,100 exams. We have had customers and people take the certification from all over the world, from individuals to startups, mid-sized companies, and even some large enterprises, which I found quite exciting that such big corporations would support and enable the developers to try something new, something cutting edge that it is not yet stabilized. And the metric that I'm the most proud of is that 87% of people who took the exam, they considered that we successfully assess for Vue competence, which means if they meet a person who is Vue.js certified, they would believe that this person can use Vue.js efficiently, which was the full reason why the certification existed on the first place. Some other interesting metrics that we gathered after the exam. Right now, we are sitting at the 38.7% pass rate, which is interesting considering that most of the devs already know Vue.js or use it upfront. And this connects nicely with the next metric that 75% of people who took the certification program saw their skills improving either by their preparation or by taking the exam itself. And then we have the stunning 84% of the participants that say that they would recommend the certification program to a fellow Vue developer. And if you follow our case studies, you might notice that these numbers are different. I'm not messing with you, but we take the surveys every day. We do a lot of feedback loops and constantly improve our programs. And this post-exam survey is sent every time a developer completes the exam. They take the survey to complete feedback, answer questions, have interviews, and so on. So at some point, we realized that the full platform we built for doing this certification, it became too big to be only for Vue.js. So Vue.js certification became certificates.dev, the certification platform for the modern developer. We plan to make certifications for a lot of things, initially JavaScript and the ecosystem. And if you would like to vote on what certification you would like to see next, you can head over to certificates.dev and cast your vote. And you can also write and suggest your own frameworks. Based on the data we've gathered so far, of course, some of the first ones we would do are Next and JavaScript. And if you are interested in these technologies, you can sign up for updates on the platform. And then you can give feedback and participate with surveys. And you can get notified to be one of the first developers to take up these programs when we release them. OK, that's my placeholder to drink water. Great, thank you. So fast tracking to 2024, we have some new projects that we're working on. One I mentioned briefly is the Vue.js Certification Developer Bootcamp. And for the first time, we put together an actual bootcamp, something that lasts for 3 weeks. It can take a developer from fundamental to certified. And it includes live training, homework, assignments, and studying, and a practice exam before the real exam. And it's been quite successful. We launched the first one in winter. We completed that series, and the next one takes place in spring. And I think these are the best workshops that we have created. We have put together the curriculums we make for courses and the workshops that we're hosting in various forms, and make a bootcamp that caters, of course, to beginners, but we see also intermediates and senior people who participate, and they learn things, which is interesting when you put someone to the test. Even I would have to, do some prep before I take the exam that I might have created myself. It's just that's the mentality of taking the exam. Next, I would like to address the VueSchool platform problem. Many of you are probably familiar with this. As the concept and the content on VueSchool has grown, it becomes harder to consume it. So today we have 2 core APIs. A lot of people use Options API, and a lot of people use the Composition API. We have a lot of courses that are made twice, one for every API, others cater to one of them. So it can take some time to figure out your path in learning. There's also alternative tools. Some people use TypeScript, some people use some specific UIs, other people have other preferences, other CSS frameworks, and so on. So this has been a problem that we wanted to address. And we're currently working on a new VueSchool platform. We are going to remake the full front end from scratch so that it will be faster. It has a new design, and it comes with a lot of new features. I don't have time to go through all of the features, but I would highlight the personalized learning experience. With all of the content we have today, we want to make it for Vue developers, when you create your VueSchool profile, to be able to fill in your knowledge, your experience, and your goals, and what are the technologies that you would like to learn next. And then you will have a personalized experience both in the platform, but also in the communications and in the ecosystem of other applications that we have now in our family. And next, we will have advanced filters and navigation. We want to do the toggle similar to the Vue guide, where you can toggle between the API version that you are using, and also have subject pages that will gather, for example, for Pinia. You can have all of the tutorials, lessons, courses, and even content from external providers in one spot. And we are actively working on this, and we estimate to launch the new VueSchool in the 2nd quarter of 2024. Okay, so before the announcements, I want to give a shout out to the VueSchool team. We are 21 people, a fully remote company. We are from everywhere around the world. And I want to share the people that are behind the screens that have made all of these projects and services a reality. And this is a picture from us when we did our first get-together last year, and we did an internal hackathon to kickstart the Vue.js certification project. Okay, so let's jump into the new projects. The first one that I'm very excited about is the Vue.js Masterclass 2024 edition. The Vue.js Masterclass is our flagship course. In fact, this is the 3rd time we're making this course. We constantly make it, and then after a few years, we have to make it from scratch. We first released it in 2017 with Vue 2. And in the Vue.js Masterclass, developers learn to build real-world Vue.js applications. So we make this course in a way that you have to learn every single bit that you would need when you work in a real app. So it will include things like authentication, permissions, chart, interfaces, state management, and everything you can think of. And the goal is that if you complete this, then any project that you work on, you can always go back in the masterclass, find the lesson where we tackled that, and watch that one, get the code, and build it in your real thing. And it's a complete remake, and it's going to use the latest and greatest Vue ecosystem and patterns. So it will include things like TypeScript, Composition API, Pinia, Vue Hues, and all of the good stuff. We're planning to release the Vue.js Masterclass in the 1st quarter, actually next month. If you're interested, you can sign up to get notified and for early bird on vue.school/masterclass. And my last announcement. Today, I'm happy to introduce Frontend Nation. After hosting 10 conferences dedicated only to Vue developers, like the Nations and our Forges, we are very excited to expand our framework to more front-end developers. So Frontend Nation is going to include talks and activities for all of the things front-end developers care about, like Vue, React, Angular, Svelte, Solid, Lead, Nuxt, Tailwind, Astro, and whatnot. If you like, you can sign up on the website for free. And if you have a great story to share, I invite you to fill in the CFP. We're opening this up today as well. And we would love to hear your story and feature new speakers in the international dev community. You can talk to me about Vue.js education or other training, or you can grab some of our cheat sheets or t-shirt if you haven't already at the VueSchool booth. I will be here until the end of the day. Thank you.